welcome to the show, sponsored this week by BMS Group, an independent global broker providing insurance, reinsurance and advisory services. We've got Rotherham Titans versus Huddersfield and Canterbury versus Westcliff to come, but we start with our titanic top of the table clash in National 1. Rosslyn Park are firing on all cylinders right now, but Chinnor have started to find their own form and they sit third. Baldwin Saunders, nice and flat, comes to Craig Holland, now the gaps are coming, Ben Howard finds the Sigger, he'll go over the try line. Henry
Brilliant
Spencer,
work.
you called for points, and those are some points. Phil Cockney-Sigger, he's back into the squad for the first time in a couple of games, and that is a great way to mark your return.
Great play from Rosslyn Park there, using the decoy runners really well to hit the players out the back, having gone direct.
Here's Holland. Cockney-Sigger, now there's 4 on his right.
Oh, great feat.
Cockney-Sigger, he's got Ben Howard for support, but he doesn't need to.
Oh, what a try.
This way, that way, and only forwards for Phil Cockney-Sigger. 2 tries in the space of about 2 minutes. Cockney-Sigger charging through Chinnor right now.
Not bad at all from Phil there. Unbelievable footwork. I think I've actually noticed his brothers here today in the crowd as well, watching.
Ball is grounded. He's got it.
Let's come out there. Has stopped. Walsh goes all the way out. He's finding Oscar Heap, who will go over the line.
Yes.
Has he done it? Yes, he has. They push and they squeeze Rosslyn Park to the middle of the pitch until Oscar Heap had enough space to get out into the corner. Saunders goes short to Flashman. They're playing the basics. They're doing them right. Austin Hay coming in at the back. He has it in hand.
Right shoulder now to Park.
Now he's going round.
Starting to move.
Advantage coming as well. There's a break on the side, and Austin Hay has done it. He certainly loves to find the try line.
I think he's racked up a few tries this season. Yeah. Cumulative metres of about 5.
Yes! Welcome on the side.
Going to go straight to Will Millett. They've got to be really careful because there's space on that outside, and Chinnor are going to go over the line.
No, they're not.
No.
Touch.
Has it just gone out? This fixture has always been defined by millimetres between these two, and once again a big moment defined by the narrowest of margins. Park is doing really well. There's a breakaway from Millett, and he's managed to find a gap through Park. This is a huge moment for Chinnor. They're going to go into the corner. Well, Chinnor have been knocking on that door, and finally a little crack, and it comes blowing down.
You thought after sustaining all that pressure, you thought that Parker got away with it. It's a good strike. Missed.
And it is missed. Well, Park are clinging on by their fingernails to that lead. For the first time in 2.5 years, Rosslyn Park beat Chinnor. They have put those demons of the past to bed, leave Chinnor with a bitter, cold feeling of what might have been. Rosslyn Park can rest, knowing they're probably their biggest challenge of the season so far has been prevailed successfully. What's that down to? Is that something that comes in a training ground, or is that something you just got to think, you just got to go?
Yeah, bits in the training ground, bit natural instinct, but I get anyone would have taken that space. I was just lucky to have the ball. Yeah.
How are you enjoying National 1 life at the moment?
Enjoying my time, especially at Rosslyn Park. I've been around a few clubs on loan before, but I'm really enjoying my time here at Rosslyn. They're a good bunch of lads, very inclusive, and they welcomed me early, and I loved it here.
And Henry told me your brother was here.
Well, yeah, he came to watch. Yeah, he's been coming to a few games, but yeah, he was here to watch. Yeah, he lives close by.
You had some congratulations.
Yeah. He said you could do it better, but.
Let's start our National 1 summary at the other end of the table with a huge clash at the Sycamores.
Leeds Tykes' nip and tuck clash with Tunbridge Juddians was level at the break when Perry Parker drove over before stand-in kicker Ryan Taylor-Denny booted 2 of his 14 points. The day would be decided by discipline though, as the visitors' reduction to 14 men gave Harry Robinson space for a brace out wide. In the southwest, Plymouth Albion's pack powered them to a first home win since mid-October, hooker Max Norrie grabbing 3 of their 7 tries. It marked a first defeat for Darlington Moden Park since the start of October, but they did take a scoring bonus home thanks to Freddie Lockwood's second try. Another pack in fine form belonged to Caldy, bouncing back from round 12's loss as they went 14 up in 14 minutes thanks to Nathan Rushton. Bishop Stortford have now lost 7 of their last 8, but did have a shining light in hooker Alex Raymond, grabbing 2 scores before the break. The mid-table clash at Veritas Park looks set for a Cambridge win when Kieran Frost scored their 4th with 7 minutes to go and leading by 14 points. But they didn't account for Taunton Titans fly half Jack Walsh, who crossed in the last minute before his conversion split the points in half. It was a much easier affair for Sale, who held Birmingham Moseley for a scoreless visit as Dan Birchall got the hosts going. While Adam Boulding's side were strong in the set piece, a clinical touch was missing, but Sale had it when John O'Donnell crossed for a 5th consecutive win. And a rip-roaring affair in Reading. Rams went into the break ahead thanks to Andrew Humberston's 2 penalties before the break. But Blackheath would make it consecutive wins for the first time this season thanks to another Jake Lloyd try. Despite the bitterly cold conditions, 45 tries certainly warmed the fans around the country. Rosslyn Park grabbed the chance to stretch their lead while Sale and Caldy climbed by 1 place. It's bad news for Birmingham Moseley and Bishop Stortford though, as more losses dropped them by 2 places.
Let's head to National 2 North, and could Huddersfield, with 2 wins on the bounce, end Rotherham Titans' unbeaten run?
These sides were meeting for the first time in 30 years, despite being just 30 miles apart, and the hosts, looking to make it 9 straight wins, flew out of the blocks through Sam Boxall's darting run. With the wind behind them at Clifton Lane, Rotherham Titans flexed their muscles through Matt Smith's speed and then Harry Newborn's power. New arrival Matt Minogue made sure the extras were kicked, but the winds of fortune changed quickly, Lewis Bradley capitalising on a sin bin for the hosts. And Tom Hidson's brilliant run put Huddersfield within 9 points. The blustery conditions would bring another twist though, as Callum Bustin pushed over for a bonus point win and a continued unbeaten Rotherham Titans run.
Here's the rest of the National 2 North action, where some running rugby was expected in West Yorkshire.
And it was certainly the case for Loughborough students, pouncing on 2 Wharfdale errors for Will Saunders to put them 11 points up at the break. But then the forwards got to work, winning a penalty try with 6 minutes to go. Check out what their star man Ryan Hamilton was up to this week later in the show. 30 miles away, Harrogate appeared to be weathering an injury crisis as debutant Will Seymour found the whitewash on the half hour. But they were haunted by Sheffield Tigers head coach Jamie Broadley, Harrogate's all-time top scorer. Another sensational upset looked on when Luctonians went 7-3 up Brantingham Park through Connor Danon. Hull Ionians ground out the win after the break with relentless pressure, finally leading in the last 10 minutes through George Mewburn. It was a much easier day for local rivals Hull, surging to a 6-try win in the North East, which was started by hooker Mike Joblin's hat-trick. While Bladen went down to 14 men and a 5th loss on the bounce, they gave the fans a thrilling moment in Jack Appleton's lung-busting score. In muddy Greater Manchester, there was a ruthless display from Sedgley Park, putting in 5 unanswered tries before the break. 3 more came after the restart, limiting Tynedale to a single score from flanker Ben Blackburn from driving play. The comeback of the day came at Avery Fields, where Chester were up through half-back pairing Liam Reeve and Tom Holloway. Bourneville had the winds of fortune in the second half as captain Mitch McGahan powered over the line for a first win in 8 games. And in Lancashire, Stourbridge were clinging on to Fylde's coattails at the break through Stephen Thorpe's quick score. But the visitors' unbeaten start would be ended as Ben Turner expertly picked up this kick to maintain Fylde's fortress at Woodlands. Plenty of twists and turns this week, with 4 teams coming back from behind at half-time. Sedgley Park returned to the top of the table, while Stourbridge slipped down to 4th. Bourneville are back in the top half. Sheffield Tigers and Wharfdale's wins make them the only changes at the bottom.
Let's head to Kent now as Canterbury look to end their 3-game losing run against Westcliff.
This is a report from our game today against Westcliff at home. Scoring as many tries as we did is something that we're obviously really happy with. I think there's definitely some things for us to look at in the week in terms of in the first half when it's a bit of an arm wrestle, we gave the ball away a little bit too cheaply. I think in terms of some of the tries that Westcliff scored, it was more from us giving up the ball in attack, which gave them opportunities which they took really well. If we could be a little bit more ruthless in that area and sort of look after the ball a bit better, I think we'll become a much harder team to score against. But ultimately, scoring as many tries as we did, especially in the second half when we were able to move the ball really well and accurately and score some really good, effective tries.
And here's the rest of the National 2 South action, starting with a top half clash on the other side of the channel. It seems the Christmas spirit has already come to Old Albanian, putting back-to-back losses behind them with 6 tries, which included another brace for Elliot McFun. Guernsey have now lost 3 of their last 4 and were contained to a solitary penalty try after the break on the island. This created an opportunity in the southwest for Henley Hawks as Ben Harrison capitalised here for the second of 4 tries. Barnstable's discipline and handling errors only helped the visitors as the promoted side's only score came from Sam Roberts' lightning break. Fans at the Haberdens certainly got their money's worth. Bury St Edmunds made a blistering start through Ben Penfold's score after just 2 minutes. But Esher did not take long to respond, putting 5 tries on the board before the break, including Jack Lavin's intercepting run. While the hosts scored 4 more after the break, the Surrey side held out for victory in a thrilling 11-try display, finished by Bury St Edmunds' Charlie Reid. On the other side of the country, Dings Crusaders put in a stellar display for a bonus point win, Matty Smith scoring the pick of the bunch. But they didn't have it all their own way, as Hinckley ensured a scoring bonus when Rory Vowles bundled over with 2 minutes remaining. League leaders Red Roof looked to have things wrapped up in Essex after just 40 minutes when Dean Bonds grabbed a brace for their 5th try of the day. But Rochford 100 rallied in the break, earning a bonus point through Mark Billings' powerful play in the last 12 minutes. And another thrilling contest on the south coast. Worthing Raiders were 16-0 up when Matt McLean showed individual brilliance here, but missed a conversion. Clifton dominated the final quarter, pushing the host down to 14 men as returning centre Marcus Nell sidestepped his way to the line. And the Bristol-based side punished Worthing's missed opportunities as Alex Forrester strolled over to secure a 1-point win. Just look at those contrasting emotions. 19 of the 56 tries scored in round 13 came in the last 20 minutes. You didn't want to leave early this weekend. Leicester Lions vs Barnes was postponed due to COVID concerns. Wins for Westcliff and Henley Hawks puts them in the top 4 as Guernsey slipped from 1st to 8th in 5 rounds. Dings Crusaders leapfrog and Canterbury are now 6 points clear at the bottom. And just before we go, here are some things you may have missed from round 13. While Hull and Wharfdale battled tough conditions, starmen Ryan Hamilton and Mike Adlard enjoyed some Dubai sun. They were part of the Speranza 22 team competing in the Men's International Open tournament of the Dubai Sevens, winning it against Wivenhoe 1917. Congrats lads and bring the sun back with you. There are also some new Centurions this week, including Taunton Titans Ratu Vakalutakali and Bury St Edmunds Will Affleck, who scored his side's 4th try against Esher. Here's to the next 100 guys. And round 13's Play of the Week, sponsored by BMS Group, goes to Jack Appleton, who soared away from the competition to score Bladers' 2nd in their home defeat to Hull. There's no stopping that. That's it from the capital as Rosslyn Park get the rock rocking with another win. See you next week.